After hosting well over 100 meetings of the Velshi Band Book Club, I know something to be true. It is that book banning, censorship in general, is a canary in the coal mine. It's a warning. Because if the government, any government at any level, succeeds in restricting access to literature and to art, then the government will surely succeed in restricting your freedom in other ways. We've been talking about book banning for years. It's happening right here, right now in America in 2026. We're also now seeing the suppression of dissent in America right now in 2026. For weeks now, Americans across the country, but especially in Minneapolis, have been exercising their constitutional right to protest. There's a small bookstore on the corner of East 38th Street in South Minneapolis. It's called Dream Haven Books and Comics. It's been in the same location for 18 years. According to USA Today, for most of those years, a yellowed copy of the poem First They Came by the World War II pastor Martin Niemöller greeted people at the front door. It's a poem you've all heard before, even if you don't know it by name. It goes like this. First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. It's a poignant read in the context of what's happening in America today. It might give you some insight into the man who owns that bookstore, Greg Ketter. Mr. Ketter is 69 years old, almost 70 years old, born in the Twin Cities. Ketter has lived in Minnesota his whole life. Last Saturday, when Alex Pretty was shot and killed by federal agents, Mr. Ketter got in his car and drove directly to the scene. We were live on this very show as it all happened. The country watched. The world watched. Mr. Ketter stood in front of a thick white wall of smoke and expressed what so many were feeling in that moment: righteous anger.
Stop! Look out! Damn! Just chill. Okay. I'm fine. I don't even breathe anything. I'm just angry. I'm 7 years old. Angry. Oh. I think I'll need it, but we'll try it.
That was more than a viral moment. It was the embodiment of the outrage felt by so many Americans. Anger can drive you. Anger can inspire you. Anger can help bring about real change. Mr. Ketter's bookstore, Dream Haven, carries comics and new and used sci-fi, horror, and fantasy books. Dream Haven, like so many bookstores and libraries and small shops, is part of the fabric of Minneapolis. It's part of the community. At Dream Haven, or your own local bookshop, you can pick up many different kinds of books that speak to this very moment that we're in. Classic dystopian novels with eerie premises. Contemporary works that function as that mirror that we always talk about. Books with protagonists who never give up. Books that inspire. Books that are a blueprint. Maybe books that enrage. But because Dream Haven is a bookstore that specializes in fantasy books, and because of the spirit and the actions of Minnesotans like Greg Ketter, I'm reminded of a moment from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Fellowship of the Ring. Quote, "I wish it need not have happened in my time," said Frodo. "So do I," said Gandalf. "And so do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us." Right after a quick break, I'll be joined for today's special meeting of the Velshi Band Book Club by Greg Ketter, a man who has decided exactly what to do with the time he has been given.
Okay. I'm fine. I don't even breathe anything. I'm just angry. I'm 7 years old. Angry.
Joining me now for today's very unusual meeting of the Velshi Band Book Club is Greg Ketter, the 70-year-old Minneapolis protester who captured the spirit of so many Americans last weekend. Ketter is the owner, as I mentioned, of Dream Haven, a bookshop in South Minneapolis that specializes in science fiction, horror, and fantasy. Greg, welcome to the show. Thank you for being with us.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Tell us what compelled you to get in your car and drive down to the scene after you learned of the shooting of Alex Pretty.
When I got a message that someone else had been murdered by ICE, I jumped in the car and just drove right down. I felt I had to be there, just like I felt when Renee Good was killed. I went right over to her memorial. I hadn't actually witnessed ICE personally, and I wanted to see them. I wanted to look in their eyes, and I went right to the front line and looked at these men with their guns and their toys and all the things that they had, and it angered me.
This is
I don't know what really drove me.
You point out two things that are so critical, including in my profession. One is the bearing witness, right? You believed you wanted to see that for yourself, to understand it, to internalize it.
Yes.
I don't know what, to be able to discuss it with other people. And two, you wanted to stare down what you thought was injustice.
Exactly. I've been so angry and so sad that this is not the America we know. And it's been coming for a while, and it's coming to a head here in Minneapolis.
Well, one of the ways it's been coming for a while, I mean, I never thought I'd make these connections, but what we do here with the Banned Book Club and with you selling books and with librarians and with teachers, because once you let the state infringe on some of your rights, it becomes very hard to draw the line and say, but you can't infringe on those ones. So your right to read is principle here.
Exactly, yes. I've been a free speech advocate as long as I've been a bookseller, and that's over 50 years now. And I just believe people should be able to be free to read what they want. If it's objectionable to you, don't read it. That's all.
That's your right. You don't have in New York, we have a lot of bookstores that have banned book sections. You don't have a particular banned book section in your bookstore, but you sell a lot of books that have been challenged or removed in schools. You have a pretty good LGBTQ section.
Yes, yeah, we mix it up pretty well. I mean, we have our sections, but I don't want to put banned books in one area. I just like to keep them with the regular books so that people will pick them up. And the response is always very good here. People know that we've carried what you might call questionable material, things that not everybody is going to like. And we've pride ourselves on putting things like that in front of people.
And you do come by this honestly. As you said, you've been doing this for a long time. You're the co-founder of something I didn't know about, but my people on my team know about this, the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. Tell me about such a thing. I didn't think comic books needed a legal defense, but apparently they have, and it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. There was a case in Illinois where a comic shop employee was arrested for selling comic books to an adult that were for adults. And a friend of mine called and said, we should do something about this. So we raised money and helped exonerate this person. And then it became a regular thing. We started a regular fund. We've had our original attorney was Burton Joseph, who was Playboy's attorney at the time. He was pivotal in helping us get our organization started, and we've fought many cases over the years.
Talk to me about, since I never thought I'd meet you, and I met you on live TV. I mean, there was nothing about, we put you on live TV. Tell me, go back to that moment. We saw, and I think it was pretty transparent what you were thinking, because you articulated it. You narrated what you were thinking, that you were okay, you hadn't been hit by anything, but you told us how old you are and that you're angry. Tell me what I didn't see, what I didn't hear. Tell me, go back to that and tell me what you were thinking.
Well, I was watching, I mean, people were all around, kind of milling around. There were a few people yelling and being very demonstrative. And then suddenly they started throwing tear gas bombs at us and flash bombs for no reason. They were not doing anything to go after the agents, and they started chasing some people down the side street. I never saw what prompted that, but I just stood there while all of this chaos was all around me, and they seemed to leave me alone. I'm not sure if it was just the crazy old man or what. They just left me standing there yelling, and then I started yelling.
Have you ever been in a situation like that before? No,
not like that. No, never.
I mean, you're the emblem of a protest now without intending that. What has happened in the last week? Because obviously, as a bookseller, people in your community know you, right? Bookselling is probably one of the stalwarts of a community. What happened?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I'm very well known in the science fiction community. There are conventions and conferences, all that sort of thing. All of the authors know me. Many of the fans know me, and that's been going on for years. But now everybody knows me, and I wasn't expecting to be an icon of protest. I was just there to witness. And it's changed my life here. We're so busy we can't keep up. I'm on the verge of hysterics most of the time, just because people are so thoughtful, so happy to meet me, to talk to me, to send me messages of support. It's overwhelming.
I want to ask you, because we brought you in under the banner of the Banned Book Club, as a bookstore owner, does this strengthen your argument about why people should be allowed to choose what they consume and how they communicate?
Oh, absolutely. I was pleased you mentioned the poster in the window, because it's the start of a much worse scenario if we start taking books that someone doesn't like and getting rid of them, because then they'll start doing a few more and a few more, and it just chips away at our freedoms, and it is not what America is about. America is about freedom of choice.
Greg, I'm pleased to have met you. Sorry about the circumstances under which we met, but thank you for your voice, for believing that it's your responsibility to go in to bear witness, and believing it's your responsibility to face down injustice. When I'm in Minneapolis, I will come and visit you and the store. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Please do. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The newest member of the Velshi Banned Book Club is Greg Ketter, the founder and owner of Dreamhaven Books and Comics in Minneapolis.